BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Crouchy, you've got a necessary and serious message to begin the podcast.
Yes, this is really serious. If you don't like bad language or adult themes, please go and listen to Tailenders. The pod's just got off to an absolute shambolic start again.
No, actually.
You're a pervert.
No, I'm not a pervert.
You are a pervert.
No, you're a pervert.
No. Maths is void now, isn't it, really?
There's no sound in space.
I'm not disrespecting the Pope.
I can't get into the ladies.
Why don't you just go in as Chris and come out as Christoph?
What is smell?
I'm not Attenborough, do you know what I mean? But
This podcast is the biggest con on the BBC.
we're having it off here. Hello and welcome to another episode of That Peter Crouch podcast. I'm Peter Crouch and I'm back in the pub with Chris Stark and Tom Fordyce. All right, boys?
Yeah, nice to see you all.
Yeah, very, very good. What you been up to?
I just flew back from Finland today, believe it or not. What a place.
Been before?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I was just thinking then, if I played against Finland or if I played Champions League or anything out there.
You might have played qualifying round in Finland.
All sort of fades into one, really.
Were you greeted with a traditional Finnish welcome?
Well, I have done. South Africa World Cup, we were greeted with a traditional South African dance.
We don't do that, do we, Chris? When visiting team comes to England, we don't have Morris dancers.
Maybe when the Euros kicks in, maybe that's what we do. We all hang around Terminal 5 or wherever it is they come through.
Traditional dance.
And we'll be there doing traditional
Hankies,
dance.
sticks.
Welcome.
What's
what
really
is our
British?
traditional dance of choice?
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
Is it? Yeah. No, we haven't really got a dance, have we?
What's your go-to move on a club, Crouchy?
I can't think of one, Tom.
What is your go-to move, Crouchy, please?
It's on the friggin' mic.
Yeah. It's true this though, but that's not a bad idea. Imagine us three, hundreds of ambassadors, Terminal 5, all doing the robot as Portuguese team come in. Like, what do you think?
I think it might unsettle them. It could work in our favour.
Surely we've got to be able to take the world record for the most number of people doing the robot at the same time. Like if we,
Terminal
us
5.
three at Terminal 5 on the 23rd of June when Portugal arrive for the Euros.
I definitely prefer it to sausages.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest.
That caught me by surprise when I listened back to the podcast.
Yeah.
I forgot the old sausages up the arse
Well,
bin.
I hadn't listened to it before I got a tweet saying something about sausages up the arse. I was thinking,
what did
we say on that? On the last one. Forgot to listen back to it.
Loads of stuff to talk about this week, Chris, haven't we? And some exciting news, I believe, that we'll talk about after we have discussed trophies.
Yeah, that's right. The news I have for you is next level. It's more a pre-announcement than announcement, but either way, look forward to that. Also, just wanted to be talking about our little side hustle that we do, the Croucho Club. So we go around the corner from this pub, me, Crouchy, Tom. We go somewhere a little bit classy. And obviously, we record it. It goes out on BBC Sounds exclusively. Some proper left field chat as well. We were ordering our food in there last time. I saw some very strange things on the menu, like foie gras. What actually is foie gras?
Why are you saying it? You sound like it's that little fella from Shrek. Lord Foie Gras.
It's mad. It's one of those foods that rich people eat.
Is it not sort of goose pate? Is it the one where they force the goose to eat more grain than they want until its liver bursts?
Oh my God, that's horrific.
As a vegetarian, these are the things that make you very smug. Like no one can put their hand up and say, I'm all for that.
That's correct.
So
Bernard Manning would, wouldn't he?
Bernard would, yeah. Would you meet
But
Bernard?
he was
you meet
turkeys.
Bernard Matthews, don't you?
Oh, I do,
Manning.
yeah. I mean, Bernard Matthews.
This has been a great start today.
What did Bernard Manning do?
He was
He's
the
a
off-colour comedian.
Bernard Matthews, you're thinking of, yeah.
I'm thinking of Bernard Matthews, the turkey.
Does Captain Birdseye only deal in fish?
He does anything aquatic.
No, but hang on. Birdseye only do fish fingers, don't they?
No, it's a full range
no,
of fish.
They'll do a goujon.
This is one that kills me, though. Have we talked about this? What is scampi?
There's no such thing in the oceans as scampi.
Shut up. This is mind-blowing.
I'm coming out.
There's not a scampi.
I don't think there's a creature called a scampi.
So what we eat him?
I just thought it was like a sort of bit of a prawn, yeah. Then I like scampi and chips. That's a nice...
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what's the scampi? What is it? Mad, isn't it?
That is actually insane. I've never thought.
What is scampi?
What is scampi?
Hang on, sorry. Scampi, I've just Wikipedia. Scampi, also known as Norway lobster, is an edible lobster.
Edible lobster.
Keep going, Chris.
But here's the mad thing: if you search scampi, the first thing comes up with is
Scampi.
breadcrumbs, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I want to see a picture of the real fish.
But that's what I'm saying. There is no fish called scampi.
And also, it'd be more expensive, wouldn't it?
A lobster.
Get
I
them
mean,
in pubs.
yeah, and you wouldn't breadcrumb lobster. Lobster's posh.
I think what we need to hear from is some of our fishermen or women.
Some of our fishermen.
Yeah. Ambassadors to seafood or the oceans.
There could be a couple of trawlermen or women listening to this now on the deck of a trawler riding out a storm on the North Sea. They're in yellow sou'westers.
Show us a picture of your scampi.
Get your scampis out.
You know when you say trawler women like that, I've
Yeah.
always wondered this. If you say trawlerman,
Yeah.
does that count for women as well? It's a bit like snowman. I often feel nervous about saying snowman now because these are modern times.
Snow people.
It's a bit like when you say an actor. That's for both men and women, isn't it?
No, because actress is a word.
Not anymore.
No,
That's
it's not
gone.
anymore.
It's gone.
That's gone, yeah.
Where did that go? Seriously?
Yeah, there's no actresses anymore.
Really?
It's just actors.
Why?
I think because the tress bit, it was almost like it was a derivative. Like it wasn't as good as being an actor.
But it'd be saying like you're a footballeress.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
a female like footballer is a footballer.
It's a footballer.
Yeah, not a footballeress.
But
So
they're lionesses, aren't they?
you raised a good point.
Why is it okay for the England football team but not for actors?
I can't give you an answer.
It'd be good to hear from some of our sea-based ambassadors to clear up a few of these.
And those who work in the theatre.
Boys, we've gone violently off topic here. Should we get back to some messages?
Yeah, I've got one from Roscoe. Roscoe says, my best friend has a family tradition of sending deceased family members up in a firework. Sadly, his nan died, so they hung on to the ashes until bonfire night and sent her up over the streets of Kettering.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
It's incredible. It's beautiful.
It is. I was reading something recently about alternative ways to be disposed of. It's just ways of jazzing up death a bit, isn't it?
How would you rather go, Crouchy? If I gave you a choice between being cremated or buried,
Yeah, I think cremation's the best bet.
why?
Well, you're not taking up too much room, are you?
It's nice. You would take up a bit of room as
I
well.
would a bit, you know.
You're a couple of plots, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not,
could fold him though,
double,
couldn't
it's a
they?
double whammy for my family, isn't it? You know, it's the cost of it all.
I quite like the firework idea, though.
Well, it's something different, isn't it? I just, you know, the streets of Kettering have been lit up.
You just want a massive bang, don't you, for your nan? You just want like, but
Sorry,
get it up
start
there.
again.
Sounds like that Nico
You
Cranshaw
just want
story.
like a. Do you know what I mean? Let's make it beautiful. Let's go there. Like massive. There's my nan. Bang! She's up there. Like that's what you want.
Could you get it to spell out Nan in the heavens?
That's beautiful. That.
Would you like to be sprinkled somewhere?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit on every team that you've played for. That would be brilliant.
Don't know if there's enough for me to go round.
Hashtag back never.
Shall I read one?
Yeah. Go for it.
Got one here from Gemma. I bumped into Paul Gascoigne on a family holiday in Loch Lomond. Me and my dad went swimming with Paul, despite my mother's protests.
Like, was the mother's protest about swimming in Loch Lomond, which is cold and dangerous, or the fact they were swimming with Gaza?
Also, what was Gaza doing swimming in Loch Lomond?
I am imagining this.
That's a valid point.
You know what I mean?
Just glazed over that one.
Yeah.
Gaza was swimming in Loch Lomond. Would the monster play a part at some stage?
Different loch.
Is it a different loch?
Well, Loch Ness, isn't it?
Oh, it's Ness. Oh, yeah.
You know the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah, sorry. That's why I'm not head of geography.
Do you reckon it's there?
I don't know.
I actually don't think it's there. I think it's a big tourist trap, isn't it?
There's got to be two other Loch Ness Monsters if there is a Loch Ness Monster there, sure.
Why are all the pictures grainy? That's what I'm saying. Really, everyone's got a camera now. It would have its beak out, sort of giving a good. Do you know what I mean? They'd find it.
It's a deep loch, though.
But don't you boys find it mad to think that there are creatures on Earth that we still haven't discovered yet? Someone told me this the other day. There's still shit out there needs discovering.
Exactly right.
You know?
Would you like a creature named after you,
Yeah,
Crouchy?
well, that's our legacy potentially.
Well, I would like a creature named after me. That'd be around forever. That'd be incredible.
And then think of this: fucking millions of years time, there'll be a Peter Crouch, and that'll be the mystery of the Loch Ness Crouch. It'll be like that's what they'll all be after, you know.
I think that's a great idea. If you do find a creature, marine folk. If you do find a creature, please send your pictures of creatures in, and we would love to name one.
Jane's got in touch. Is parched a turtle, a gazelle, or a buffalo?
A few months ago, that question would have meant nothing, would it? But a lot of people now know. I would say parched is not a turtle. I would say that he has certain gazelle-like attributes, and is definitely a buffalo.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Well, this actually is a big clue, isn't it?
He doesn't duck out of many headers.
This is no. You see, that piles on the pressure. What names are we all seeing being floated?
Some are good. I think a lot of them are very parched-like, but not
Parched-like.
I mean, all the people.
Who can we rule out today?
I can't go into too much detail about the traits of the animal.
So, who have we ruled out so far? We've ruled out Milner, haven't we? Steve Sidwell,
Gone.
JJ, he's off.
Yep, Genus.
Not Genus.
Gone.
I think the only other one we've ruled out is Joe Allen, isn't it?
He's gone.
I'm going to put a name out there. I've seen a lot on social media, okay, for this week. Shoot my shot. Is parched Glenn Whelan?
I can confirm that Glenn Whelan is not parched.
Ooh, gutted. I'm so
I
gutted.
love doing that. I feel like Dermot O'Leary.
The reveal at the end of this is going to be something else, isn't it?
That's huge for Whelan because he has been getting battered on social
I
media.
think he's going to really, really appreciate that.
Should we crack on with trophies then?
Let's do it.
Move on.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
There are some trophies, aren't there, boys, which are absolute beauties. They just look right.
Well, the European Cup is a phenomenal looking trophy, I think, isn't it? FA Cup's beautiful.
The FA Cup looks perfect, doesn't it? It's got handles, which is great. It's got a lid you can wear as a hat. It's got a base for a third person a bit of fun with. You can drink out of it.
Yeah, I always feel sorry for those that get the base, don't you? Like, it seems like they've got the kind of wrong end of it. You see them running around the pitch with a base.
You can't loft it to the crowd, can you?
Similar in bands, isn't it, really? No
Yeah.
one wants to be bass.
Do you not think the lesser players get the base?
Possibly, yeah.
What makes a beautiful trophy, though? I think it's the curves, isn't it?
Size is always important, I think.
Don't want to be too big, does it?
No. Well, like, some of those ice hockey ones are ridiculous.
Stanley Cup is ginormous.
Absolutely massive.
They're big
You can't-
boys.
Yeah, I know they're big boys, but you can't have any fun with that, can you?
No.
I like the casual sort of walking with the trophy. You know?
Dangling it off your fingertips.
Dangling it like us.
What, this old thing? I just won the FA Cup.
Another one.
Beauty of the trophy for me is that it hasn't changed for years.
They're historic, aren't they? The big ears on the Champions League now, or the European Cup. It's just a signature, isn't it, of the... It's prestigious. It's the best trophy in the world. Obviously, the World Cup is so different to anything that...
Well, the World Cup hasn't got any arms, is it?
Well, it has. It's got a hand holding a globe.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, physics, yeah,
Yeah, it's
the
no-
design, but there's no handles, is there?
It's
No.
also not solid gold. Apparently, if that trophy was solid gold, you couldn't lift it.
Gold plated.
It's gold plated.
Ah.
It's also, there's a story that they lost, or the original one was nicked in 1983.
The Jules Rimet.
No, the new World Cup, that got nicked, but they had to hush it up because it was a bit embarrassing.
Are you saying that there's someone out there who has the World Cup in their house? That's a huge
Someone in
shout.
Rio, because it was nicked in Rio.
Was it?
Do you know I once had the League Cup in my house?
Why?
I don't know if I've ever told you, but I used to work for a football magazine called Match. And we were going to use the League Cup, and it was delivered to my little flat in Peterborough in a massive box. The beautiful 3 handles on the League Cup. And me and my mate just sat next to it on the sofa all night long with our arms around the League Cup.
You had it all night.
We had it all night long.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It was an amazing thing to see, Chris.
Did you have to wear gloves?
This was pre-smartphones, so you couldn't take selfies with it. We had no evidence, me and Kev, the League Cup had been in our little 2-bed flat in Peterborough for a whole night and we were with it.
That's mad.
That is
isn't it?
incredible.
Right, here's a good little pub quiz. Can
Great-
you list
great game.
all the names that the League Cup, or the sponsors that the League Cup has had?
Milk, Rumbelows,
Yeah,
Worthington,
yeah,
Carabao,
Carling.
Carling.
yeah. There's another one. Used to run a Paul's Company or a catalogue that 15-year-olds would get excited about.
Littlewoods.
Oh.
Of course. Coca-Cola.
Capital One.
When was the first one? Milk.
Milk was the first.
Well, what was milk? That's before my time. So what was
milk?
Was it
It was milk.
actual milk?
It was
Actual
milk.
milk.
Milk sponsored things.
It was the milk.
That's mad. I thought this was like abbreviated or something. Actual milk.
It's the
It's
milk.
gone from milk to Carlick.
Yeah. The times we're in.
Via Rumbelows.
You
and
really see where the
Littlewoods.
money's coming in football, can't you? Milk.
So, do you know what it was, Chris? It's the milk marketing board, and then the players who'd won it would be given a pint bottle of milk for the post-match interview. So they'd be
Spraying around milk.
No,
Just slightly off topic. Was Match and Shoot rivals?
huge rivals.
Yeah.
It was like El
Big-
Clasico.
Yeah.
Massive.
What
beef.
died first?
Shoot.
Did they?
Match is still going.
Match is still going on?
Yeah.
I always found that as I got a bit older, 90 minutes crept into my...
Yeah, it was more of sort of late teens.
It was
like
more,
just 17
just
of football.
below a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But still a really good read, but not quite as kiddie as the Match and Shoot.
Let me throw out another one. I was very young. I went to newsagents in Pinner and bought the Ryan Giggs magazine.
Did he really?
He had his own football magazine, didn't
This
he?
happened. So if you wanted to sell loads of copies, double bubble, you were getting Man United, all their fans, plus people who fancied Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs a sex icon.
Yeah,
was he
he was, yeah.
actually?
Joking, of course he was.
Huge.
Really?
Yeah.
What, with his curly,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not my bag, but
blowing in the wind?
that's baffling, isn't it?
I subscribed to Match Shoot in 90 minutes. And the Beano and the Dandy for too long. I have to say, I got caught. We all worked in the local newsagents. We always used to pick up our magazines after like our subscription. And my mate got my subscription. And I had already told them that to put Beano and the Dandy inside.
Slip one in.
90 minutes. So no one knew. I was about 16 at the time. and
Most people at 16 are slipping other sorts of magazines.
I was all over
Into-
it. I just couldn't get enough of like Dennis the Menace.
Desperate Dan.
Desperate Dan, mate. I was all over Billy the Wiz. And I didn't live it down for a long time. And I had to unsubscribe. I mean, I was about to leave school and play for Tottenham.
You were a slightly elder Beano.
I was trying to get in the first team at Spurs. I was fully Beano'd up on the way. Team bonding's popping off.
Oh, the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it actually is.
Who's chatting?
Pat Cash has left already.
Pat Cash.
left.
Yeah.
Oh, when did that happen?
He's had enough. He can rack off.
What's the last message that was on there then?
So Biffy just said, "How is everyone? I travelled to Berlin. Is anyone else travelling?" Then Kev just popped up. "Yeah, I've been to Peterborough."
We should maybe think at some point about doing a little five-a-side and get maybe these five involved.
Superb.
They could be a team, couldn't they?
Bruce, midfield general.
Do you think?
Yeah, look at her on Question Time. Dictating the pace of it.
Tony Insurance in goal.
Big Kev to Kit now be centre half.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Nothing's getting past Big Kev.
Yeah.
Pat Cash up front.
Pat Cash, bit of guile up front.
If he turns up. Now he's
No one
left.
get hold of him.
This would be mad because you'd have to privately message Pat Cash.
He's a maverick though. That's why he's our centre forward.
Crouch going for the spectacular. Oh, what a goal from Peter Crouch!
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
There's no nice way of saying this, Crouchy. You had to wait quite a long time for your first trophy.
God, where's this going, Tom?
I'm just saying that I'm really glad when you won the FA Cup in 2006 with Liverpool.
Oh, it was.
Because it had been a bit of a wait.
Yeah, it would have been a wait. Oh no, it was the best. I mean, I grew up with the FA Cup. That was, for me, it was bigger than the Champions League. It was the one that I wanted to win. When I won it, it was probably the most emotional that I've been on a football pitch.
Do you know there's another almost identical FA Cup that was made at the same time that is given out? I think it's the North Wales FA give it out for their North Wales Cup, but it looks exactly like the FA Cup. So if you're Real
Madrid.
Madrid or Carnarvon,
That's crazy. So there's the same trophy.
I think it's a tiny bit smaller, but it was made by the same jewellers in Bradford, however 100 years ago. They made two of them. And there's one which is ever so slightly smaller that you can win in North Wales.
Really?
Well, that's mad. But the FA Cup trophy, you meant to wear gloves and stuff like that. But when it's handed over to the footballers, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
That is true. I mean, I poured champagne in it and drank out of it.
Did you?
Yeah, and I mean, there was all sorts going on the bus.
Is it heavy?
Reasonably heavy, yeah. With my strapping arms. And we went to Alma Cuba in Liverpool. And we put it in the middle, like upstairs. Loads of fans were downstairs sort of cheering up at us. It was a great night.
And the trophy was there?
And we had the trophy with us. Yeah,
That's incredible.
it was brilliant, yeah. So we had the trophy in Alma Cuba.
Is the captain responsible for looking after it?
I couldn't tell you, No idea who was looking after it.
Imagine waking up though, Chris, walking downstairs after a monstrous night, horribly hungover, and then you just see, there it is,
That's a
gleaming
beer
on the
trophy,
table.
isn't it? Occasionally you get a traffic cone, road
Road
sign.
sign. Oh, it's the FA Cup.
It's a bit of sick on the stairs.
There it is.
Next to a kebab wrapper.
So that day, I mean, you wake up in the morning. Did you sleep the night before?
Yeah, no, I slept all right. I was more nervous than any game I've played before the FA Cup final. I knew I was starting and I got the new boots and they had the FA Cup final written on them, special boots made for the day. I don't like wearing new boots, so I like to wear my boots in, and I wasn't comfortable with it, if I'm honest. I trained in them the night before. I like to break them in, and I know players who wear a different pair of boots for every match. Like John Terry, for instance, used to have every brand new pair of boots for every match. It was mad. I'd rather wear them to death. So they're really soft. And I was ready the night before, and obviously all my family and friends had travelled to Cardiff, and they were buzzing for it. They had a great night. They had a game with butterflies start. I was definitely more nervous than usual, but I was trying to pretend I wasn't. But yeah, went out there and we had a bit of a mare, really.
How did it differ to a normal game?
Just a bit more sort of anxiety, I think, a bit more buzz, a bit more zip about it. This was my big one, really. I was a bit nervous. I had a goal ruled out. I was just offside.
So then I've got two massive questions about it, because I reckon, Chris, that was the last great FA Cup final. Number one, Konchesky, deliberate or fluke?
That was a cross.
Yeah. Number two, when Steven Gerrard bangs in the equaliser at the death, you're on the bench.
Yeah.
Can you do the noise you made as that ball went past Shaka Hislop?
No, honestly, I just shouted obscenities. What a goal that was.
What a goal.
Honestly, because I was watching most of the commotion from the venue. I think I came off around sort of 75 minutes or something, and I didn't play badly. I didn't have a terrible game. It was just freshening things up.
Were you frustrated, or
Yeah, I
were
was
you
frustrated.
happy, or were
I was
you?
frustrated to come off. Like, I knocked one down for Stevie when he banged one in. So I had a slight impact. I had a goal ruled out. I played okay. It wasn't my best game of it by any means, but it was.
But did the job.
But yeah, I was off, and all the commotion was happening, and because Stevie got cramp, and Rafa was like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? We have to take him off." He managed to get himself up, and he was hobbling around, and he was obviously in a bad way. And then this ball sort of just bouncing, 25, 30 yards out, wherever he is. He just managed to sort of muster up the strength to run onto it. And he said, I asked him after, like, how have you hit that with cramp so hard? He said, literally, I just knew it was like the only opportunity that I would have. I couldn't run into the box. He just thought, I'm just going to spank this as hard as I possibly can. And it's the best technique of a strike I've ever seen.
What was your view on it, Crouchy? So you were on the bench. Could you see it perfectly?
Yeah. I'm just right behind it. You know, when the ball sort of bounces like that, I don't think there's anyone that you want running onto the ball more than him. Once he hit it, you just knew straight away it was in. I still look at my medal and think of Stevie. The big players come to the fore in the big occasions, and that adrenaline after that, he's then running off celebrating, and the cramp's gone. It's amazing what that...
It's how you cure cramp.
Amazing what that...
Just
score a 30
Score a
yarder.
worldie.
It's hard not to look at your medal and go, thank fuck for Steven Gerrard.
I feel like we're blowing a lot of smoke up Gerrard's at the moment.
It's only because of that period, he was the best player he could be.
Yeah.
I played with him at his peak, and I saw it firsthand, just how fucking good he was. It was a joke.
The only thing that Gerrard never quite nailed was his hair. He did a lot.
He had his flaws.
Because he's getting well paid. He looked like he just went to the local barber and just went, just give me a number one, just give me a number two.
I think he did. I mean, it changed as he went on.
He got towards the end, he got closer, didn't he?
Yeah. I think, like, Cara and Stevie probably laughed at people wearing gel in their hair.
So they wouldn't use
time
any
went
hair
on.
product in the early days?
No, not at first. It was seen as something that people did in London.
I like that. It was seen as a weakness.
Real men don't use
them ones with their hair gels.
That's changed. That changed. You've all got to embrace different cultures, haven't you?
So, FA Cup final, right? It's gone to 3-3. Work's not done yet. Extra time and penalties, but they all count. I don't know if you get a goal bonus for penalties.
No, goal bonus has gone, really.
Is it? All finishes
There's
there.
a famous one that Harry Redknapp tells the story. He's signing Defoe he's asked for a goal bonus. And he said, what the fuck do you think we're paying you 40 grand a week for? To fucking miss them?
But it's a fair point, actually.
It's a valid point, though.
But it's a bit of a funny one with strikers taking penalties.
It's your duty to step up.
It's unfair to lay it on a defender.
Well,
and
it's
miss,
funny you say that. The second penalty taker for Liverpool on that day was Sami Hyypiä.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's like, my mind's gone blank.
You were there. A man
I
takes
was
the
there.
first one, and Hyypiä has missed it, to be fair.
That's bizarre.
That was an error, wasn't it?
Did Rafa decide who's doing the penalties, or did Gerrard just take control?
No, Rafa will have the final say on who's taking the pens.
Assume you were on the pitch at this point.
Yeah, no, so I'm in the huddle.
You're in the huddle.
I'm in
right?
the huddle now.
And what are they saying in this huddle? You always see it. I wish you could get a microphone on it.
What's nice about obviously being taken off at that point is, you can just go, I would have loved to have taken one.
Yeah.
I would have been the first to step up.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Gutted.
But do you say,
No,
did
you
you
don't
talk
vote.
to anyone?
No, you just talk to all the lads, and then you'll get the penalty takers, and then you'll say, try and G them up, and then speak to the keeper a little bit.
Crouchy, whose arms were you interlocked with during that penalty shootout?
Oh, well, I remember the point where I think he saved the last.
Pepe Reina saves from
Anton's.
Anton Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Do you sprint to the goalkeeper?
Well, are you looking at Pepe throughout this thing as well and doing the old he's going that way?
No, you can't. You just got to let him crack on with his own thing. He made a great save, and that feeling was amazing.
And then the poor engravers on the sides there, at that point, it's after penalties. You really haven't got long. He's like, and then you get the FA Cup, and there is history. Amazing.
Crouchy's done the robot again because it's 100 Premier League goals for Peter Crouch.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
Of course, every season, every team has an end-of-season awards. So you've obviously been to a fair few of these, Crouchy.
Yeah. It's become sort of more for the fans and the corporate sort of people that sponsor. Like at Stoke, for instance, we used to have one player on each table with each sponsor. You just had to fingers crossed that
awful.
You had a good sponsor. Yeah, you could end up with a bad one and sit next, especially if you had a bad season. Oh my God. Like I'm sitting next to a tyre company, like tyre representative or something, and I'm talking about tread. I'm like,
Looking really interesting.
I've got jeez.
You got a new compound out, have you? So it's good for wet weather and dry?
Yeah, wet and dry. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. You'd look over and I'd see like John Walker's having the time of his life over there, and I'd go, bastards.
You've got to keep them sweet, though, haven't you? Because
Well, I suppose that's the whole thing, isn't it?
I would say it's a great compliment to you that you were put on sometimes difficult tables, because the Stoke City lot have gone, Christ, well, look, we've got a couple of absolute stinkers here. Who can we send in? And they've got to say, well, Crouch would be good for this.
Do you know that?
it's like the wedding, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
it
doing
is.
the tables at a wedding.
Who can get everyone talking?
I do appreciate that. Do you know what's so funny? one year, I used to say all the foreign boys go more foreign. All of a sudden,
Can't understand anything.
Honestly, so I remember looking at Wilson Palacios, right? He's having a nightmare on this table. And I went past and said, Wilsh, you right? He went, no comprende. And I just tell you now, Wilson's completely fluent to whoever was on that table. Because a few different people from different tables will come over and have a picture. You'll just make like small talk and go, what players on your table? And they'll go like Wilson Palacios, and I'll go, oh yeah, good lad. And he said, yeah, he doesn't speak any English though, does he? You go, oh yeah. Oh, forgot about that, yeah.
Jack Butland, I imagine, being quite pleasant.
He'll go down well with Marsden.
Eric Peters, bit dull.
Bit dull.
Killed him. Killed him in one breath. A bit dull.
Eric Peters, a bit dull. There's some trophies missing, I've noticed, from the end of season awards. So when I was at Pinstars, we'd have players player, player of the season, all this sort of thing. Players player I always liked.
That's the biggie, isn't it?
Managers are secretly a good one though as well.
This is what I want to ask you about. Manager's favourite.
Managers pick, yeah.
The Parched Award, isn't it?
Yeah. That should be renamed the Parched Award.
I didn't know it still goes on at your level, though, because I thought manager's favourite was something that died out when you were about 15.
It's not necessarily the best player.
It's rarely the best player, isn't it?
But that's the most improved, isn't it? The most improved is like, give him a fucking award.
Yeah.
You know, he's carried the kit and ran the line.
The very thing about it, Chris, it implies in the name that you were shit before.
It's poor standard.
If you get most improved player, you basically dog shit. And then you progress to just a bit shit.
But you almost don't want to win most improved player. It's a rare award where you're at an awards and you're going, oh, I don't need that.
What's a niche one? If you're a pretty shit player and you're not up for any awards, just start really going for it in the community. You get the community award.
It's a great award. Fantastic. Nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
Chris, so you'll appreciate Ben Foster
Yeah.
at Watford and all the stuff
He's
he
done loads
does.
of great stuff, hasn't he?
I'm dubious about it all.
He's a skeptic.
Now, what I think, right, he's a fantastic goalie, best goalie in the league.
He's not.
Well, who's better than him?
Alison, Edison.
Bollocks. He's better than not, are they?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Debate done.
Did you win that one? I'd give him most improved.
That's just trying to wind me up.
No, because he's a fantastic goalkeeper and he's improved so much, hasn't he?
A nice wine doesn't improve, it matures. But with Ben Foster, what he's done is he's just got better at a level and then better and then better. And then
He's improved.
It's not an improvement.
That's
if
a
you've
huge
gone from
improvement.
better to brilliant, it's a maturing. It's
Most mature player of the year.
the connotations of an improvement is that it's shit to average.
He's very good now. He's just not as good as Edison or Alison.
you don't like him as a man, Chris.
I think the reason he goes out into the community, all the looking after the kids, brilliant bloke and everything like that, is because he's in a situation where Gomez is number 2 and is potentially the nicest person ever. And they've ended up in a battle where they're trying to better each other for who is the better man publicly.
They're having a charity off.
Yeah, because it's balmy. We've got a 1 and 2 who
are
are
lovely people.
Yeah, out there. They'll look after anyone, free tickets for kids, kissing babies, healing the lepers,
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
Back to the end of season awards, I'm just thinking what other funky trophies there are. We've all got that trophy somewhere.
yeah.
A black square base and then a footballer in a pose, sometimes with the ball just implausibly balanced on his toe.
We've all got that trophy.
Yeah.
You must have loads of them.
I've got quite a few of those, still stored in my loft.
With Pinstars, we'd all get a trophy just for taking part in the season.
Taking part trophy. What's the point of that?
It was to acknowledge that you've been playing for the team
Paying
for the
your
season.
subs.
Yes, mate, but we're not all on 100 grand a week, are we? At 8 years old.
No, but it's a complete waste of money.
But it was nice because then you could put the trophy up.
But everyone's got one.
but no,
It's not a trophy.
You're not
won anything.
aspiring to do anything there.
Well, maybe that was the problem with Pinstars at my age.
Did you win anything? That's why.
We'll get so many pictures. In fact, I'd like to pile the pressure on Crouchy and Tommy. You should tweet them pictures of your trophies and make them feel bad about taking them away. Because surely I can't be the only one here. It wasn't just Pinstars throwing out trophies for taking part in the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll join you because I got given a World Cup taking part medal.
You see, I think that's the fucking coolest thing ever. But going by your rules, it's a taking part
I'm willing
award.
to launch mine in the bin.
Well, shall we all, I don't know if this is legal or not, shall we all throw these things into the river?
I just think...
Or a lake or something?
We may have to dispose of them in a more environmentally friendly way.
we
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Burn it down.
We're all for climate change on this podcast.
We're anti-climate change, aren't we?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant, Tom. we're big into this.
Yeah. They can maybe be melted down and reused for actual trophies.
Fantastic. What a great idea.
Yeah. I think send us the pictures
Absolute
of what
nonsense.
you've won and these lads will rip it to shreds. But let's see what you won and what you've earned, because it seems that my youth was a sham. And actually, I'm really proud of my trophies.
So my favourite thing when someone like Pinstars or Rivellino wins a trophy is when it gets taken. You know the open-top buses that go around London for tourists? When a group of people, a team, take their trophy on one of those and start waving it at Piccadilly Circus to Japanese tourists.
Seriously.
After their end of season. Yeah, it's happened
I
a few
need this.
times.
We need evidence of this.
Yeah.
I need pictures.
You'll love it.
Did you do that with Pin Stars? All 11 of you waving your taking
Well, no, because
part
we didn't win the
trophies?
league. You can. Oh, right. No, I'm not.
And then shin pads.
I think you two have been. No, you're being arseholes. Also, Pin Stars are a legitimate football club, and actually, I would like to support them.
Your first season at QPR, didn't you win Player of the Season?
Yeah, I won Player of the Season that year, yeah. But we went down.
That's a bad end of
team.
season, do, isn't it, when you've gone?
So, yeah, I mean, that's grim.
I think I'm DJing this year's one.
Are
as well,
you?
So I don't know. There's no manager's favourite with Nigel Pearson. It's just going to be a beating, not trophies. It'll just be a jug of piss in your face.
He'll bring in a pack of wolves. He'll walk on the stage with a pack of wolves, and he'll just click his fingers, and the wolves will savage individual players.
That's a good idea. Instead of trophies, instead of the carrot, you give the stick. So it's a beating on stage.
Yeah, it's like the alternative awards. So our first award of this evening is for shittest player of the year.
If you go down, it shouldn't be awards.
What tunes are you going to play if you go down?
Down, 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 down.
Bum, 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 bum. We spend a lot of time talking about football. We haven't really, all of us, played football with or against each other. If we did so, how would we design a trophy?
I like handles.
Can we have 3 handles? Because I love the League Cup.
I like
It's the last thing Wednesday won.
What about 4 handles?
Well, I think we should maybe get different.
Boys, I've got one.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You got
Yeah.
4 hand. No one's done that.
No.
I've
No
got
one's
one.
done that.
What about one handle, but it's it's like a big pint because we're in a pub, right? But like an oversized.
Oh, this is good.
An oversized.
So you're basically cheersing
so
it
it's
when
an
you're in
actual cup.
Now we're
a cup
talking.
that's an actual cup,
And then
that
'cause
we
you-
can all drink from, and you can fit like 15 pints in it. So it's like, you know, those where old men have
Their own pint
mugs?
glass behind a bar.
Yeah. Massive
Like
tankard,
a huge stein.
Yeah, and then when the team lift it, it's like one massive giant cheers towards the. Right.
And
yeah.
it also
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
symbolises that together you have won this trophy, because no man on his own can lift the trophy. It takes every player who has been part of that team to lift the trophy.
This is beautiful.
Right, we've nailed the trophy, but what about the game?
Winner takes all.
Well, what
The
about a trophy for taking part as well?
No one ever knows.
There's no point in that.
Little mini beer.
But what's the game?
Let's go to goals or something. Why don't we get a team each?
Do the ultimate 5-a-side game.
The Crouch Cup, right? And you get a team, I'll get a team.
I'll get the Rivellino team.
Get the
I
Rivellino
could,
boys
do you know
back
what?
together.
I could reform the team that won the 2001 Wimbledon District League Cup. Pat Spencer, Jim Spencer.
No. This isn't.
Conkers,
this isn't,
Dan
no, but
Poppleton.
it's,
You get
it's
your
not
taking
about.
part boys to
No,
compete.
no, I won't have that said about Pin Stars. Actually, they're a legitimate football team. So, Pin Stars, just carry on doing what you're
They
doing.
love
You're doing
taking part,
fantastic.
Tom. They'll be all over
they'll
it.
be fun.
They'll be all over
They're
it.
not in the final.
No, I think what do? We form the best teams we can.
It's the fear not, Chris. With the greatest respect to Pin Stars and Rivellino, Crouchy knows slightly better footballers than we do. Like, what happens if I turn up with Pat Spencer, Jim Spencer, you turn up with Steven Gerrard?
And John Spencer.
You've robbed some of his players.
Anyone who's called Spencer is mine.
I think what we do with this.
We'll have the game. We'll have an end of season awards.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Do you think Dre would ref it for us?
We'll get a referee. We just
Mike Dean or Dre?
We just make a proper go of a football match.
People like football, you know, so if you're in a band, get in touch.
Yeah.
If you fancy playing in the game, anyone's welcome, aren't they? Let's
Well,
let's
to a
ramp it
limit.
up. Yeah, we haven't got that many taking part trophies.
Right, the winner wins the inaugural Crouch Cup.
I like the sound of this.
You're offering me the opportunity to beat them.
Yes. You
Wow.
could be up against some of the greatest footballers of the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
Or it could be Sean Derry, Courtney Pitt and Glenn Johnson.
It's not a bad team.
It's
at
still
all.
a better team than we're going to get.
What the hell are you expecting us to get then? Yeah, and we'll get Beckham. We'll get
Figo. Fat Ronaldo.
Mate, don't underestimate this podcast. You never know. They might be listeners.
Chris, are we playing in our own team?
I think it's a rolling sub situation.
Where do you want to
because-
play? If this is our team, where do you want to
No,
play?
in all honesty, I want what's best for the team. So if we can't get enough players, obviously I'll play.
Shin pads?
Yeah, all of us will concentrate on getting some people in.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Don't just get England players, please.
Yeah. How about this? How about we finally reveal who Parched is at the 5-a-side end of season?
It's weighing me heavy now. It's weighing on me. I'm getting asked constantly, and I need to get it out there now.
Okay.
So we will have a definitive answer.
I
at the
will
Crouch Cup.
reveal in the Crouch Cup who Parched is.
Beautiful boys. I feel like we've nailed this. Our big end of series celebration will be the Crouch Cup, end of season awards, hopefully in Ruislip.
Well, Ruislip's the Wembley of goals, isn't it?
It's my
if we can get down there,
It is almost Wembley, literally, isn't it? It's just up the road.
ish. One of the pitches is named Wembley.
Perfect.
It's back stronger because you think the last game I played there would have been, say, with Chango the Beast, Dossa,
Chango the Beast.
And I come back and
He's playing. You got to get Chango the Beast to play.
Can they?
Yeah, no, Chango can
You serious? I haven't played with him for years.
Chango the Beast?
We haven't had a game for ages.
Is he decent?
Can be, yeah. I mean, he's physical.
He sounds it.
Yeah.
That Peter Crouch podcast from BBC 5 Live.
Right, done loads on trophies there, boys. Now to talk about that exciting news that Tom mentioned earlier. Chris.
Mate, I'm excited. I'm proud, excited. You know that I promised a big guest after Mike Dean came on. And that was massive. The Mike Dean stuff was huge. But as my role of head of advertising, I was told to go out and get us a big guest. And as you boys now know, it's next level.
This podcast never ceases to amaze me.
Just trust us with this. What we've got coming, I think, is going to change podcasts forever.
In your role of head of advertising, is there anyone you've tried to get that hasn't worked out before we've got this big guest?
Well, yeah, to give you an idea, I mean, Tony Poulis is still not...
Why?
Maybe he thought you were asking for someone else.
I think he's keen to distance himself from me, and I understand that.
Who else?
Harry Redknapp, I tried him.
Mike Dean was massive, though. This is definitely bigger than Mike Dean.
That was a coup getting Mike Dean, though. Was it a coup?
Yeah.
What are they called? Is it coup?
A coup is something that Mike Dean's familiar with. It's something that chickens.
Chickens live. Yeah.
Oh God, don't go there. But I thought a coup was a coupe with a silent P.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's called a coup, but it's spelled coupe.
Coup, French word, COUP.
It's not a coup getting Mike Dean on, it's a coup.
It's a coup.
But it's spelled coupe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Crouchy. That's news to me. I'm sure it's news to other people
But
listening.
why is co-op spelled co-op? When it's actually spelled coupe.
That reminds me, I had a mate who said he was taking a girl to a really classy bar, and he said, I'm taking her to the Alberoni.
Where's the Alberoni?
I said, where's the Alberoni? And he's like, the Alberoni. I said, at all bar one.
The Alberoni! Hey, forever called the Alberoni now. Never, all bar one's just lost. They're just not called all bar one anymore. And the co-op is just the coupe.
BBC Sounds, music, radio, podcasts.